Okay, so this is really about why I'm not a backswing guy. I had this change, I would say, probably 12 plus years ago, 12, 13 years ago. I became a downswing guy and known by my peers and in the industry as the downswing guy. I mean, that's where I made my bread and butter, where my players have totally changed and changed levels and so forth, is because I became 100% focused on the downswing. When I first started teaching, I really got in the industry. It was around 18, and I was a backswing guy. I was taught to be a backswing guy. We talked playing, everything about the playing. So I have a very good background in playing and face, and understood it to, I believe, is about as good as you could possibly understand it. And I was able to do it in my golf swing as well. I have this beautiful plane and good club face position at every point in the swing, really. And what I noticed was I didn't get a lot out of it. My game actually was getting worse as my swing was getting better technically by the swing plane laws. And I knew that something wasn't right. And then just logic and common sense came to me, and I said, when I read Ben Hogan's book in the 5 Fundamentals, he did talk about playing, but he talked more than anything in that book about really the kinetic chain in the energy of how to use the internal muscles to move the outer, the club and so forth. And so he was talking kinetic link and downswing really more in that book than he was anything. And a lot of teachers made their living and their concepts and their theories off of his swing play model. And I had as well. That's what I came from. Like I said, it came to me and I said, look, you have guys on the tour. Kenny Perry, Jack Nicklaus wasn't even close to any plane. I mean, he wasn't. He was inside on the takeaway. He was here. Raymond Floyd. Those were the models that I saw. I saw some footage of Sam Snead, not close. Really, Ben Hogan was in on the takeaway, technically a little bit more than some of the guys would teach now. But every swing was different, and every backswing was unique. And every backswing, what I like to say, they took the club back the way they wanted to take the club back. Because for them, it was just like their muscles wanted to move that way, and their brain wanted their muscles to move that way. And you see just about every style, guys that move way off of it, guys that have the club in, around, and over, guys that are really laid off, guys with not as much wrist cock, guys with more wrist cock, guys with shut faces, open faces. Every single way to guys, there was really nothing that said that made a fact about the backswing. There really wasn't anything. And so, because club face positions and shafts, they were just all over the place. And so I knew that there was something more. There had to be something more. Now, is every downswing the same? And I would say, no, not visually. But if you check the energy of the players, it's always the same. It's in time with what they need to be. And I'm not going to go into all that, but what I found is through all these years of study is it was the downswing that made the players great versus good versus terrible. And if you took Tiger Woods' downswing away from him, he would not be the same player. If you took Jim Furyk's downswing away from him, he would not be the same player. But they can both win with different types of backswings. It's been proven. But you can't take the downswing away from the great player and tear up all of the fundamentals they built in their downswing and allow that player to keep playing well. And that's a lot of times why we found, like when you work backswing with so many players, they get worse. These good players, they get worse because you're affecting their timing. And timing is king. Timing wins. Timing has no regard to fundamentals and what form looks like. Timing is the ability to hit the ball the way you want to hit it, without really a lot of regards to fundamentals. And that confuses a lot of golf instructors. It goes against the grain with golf instruction for the past 50 to 100 years for the most part. But the game's getting smarter, we're evolving. New coaches are coming out and they're searching out guys like me that know the downswing and preach energy and how to accumulate it, store it, contain it, and release it. And that's the future of the game. It's what the great players have always done. And it's why I've always said, if you've been around me much, and if you haven't, I can tell you, the guys that have been around me, I say this all the time, there are more teachers that have better backswings than there are PGA Tour players. And why is that? PGA Tour players spend their time playing golf. They don't have time for all this Mickey Mouse stuff and ideas and swing theories. They have to add something in and go because they're building. And they have these, the same things that amateurs have. They have these issues and so forth that don't look right. They don't look good on video. It makes them kind of, it kind of makes them kind of feel bad when they see it. But they have timing. And timing trumps everything. And if a player loses that ability, if they don't believe that they have the timing and they don't focus on the timing, that player has a good chance of really going the wrong way. And you can ruin a career as an instructor if you're working with a player that plays their livelihoods on the line every week, and you're out there guessing things that you don't know. You're guessing on swing theories. So the last time I checked, facts are facts. It means that everybody has to do it. There are no facts on the backswing. There's facts on the downswing. There are no facts on the backswing. You can be almost anywhere because the downswing is where you recover from. You have to recover. If your backswing's on perfect plane, perfect face, you still have to recover. You still have to. You have to make a downswing that's efficient. It's just not automatic and you're good to go. It sounds good on paper. It has some logic, you would think that, but it's not how it works. And if you've been around the game for a long time and tried all these stuff and everything, you'll know what I'm talking about. The downswing is what wins, and so we spend all of our time focusing on building efficient downswings. And the more efficient your downswing is, the better you're going to play. There's no debate about it. Every great player in the game talked about when they won and really played great, just some of the things that they thought about, which most of the time was nothing. But they'll say, I had some space, with the club. I felt like my body was out of the way. My club was in front of me on the downswing the whole time. Or there's always feelings of the downswing. It wasn't like you hear a lot of backswing triggers. It's like, at impact, I could just feel the club here or whatever it might be. Simple things, but they were all downswing things that they were talking about. And so that's what we teach. That's what I teach. It will be what I always teach while I'm in this game. I can tell you that. So if you want to improve your game, you need to focus on your downswing. You better get with somebody that understands energy, really understands biomechanics, the applications of that relative to the body in the golf swing, and also somebody that can physically do it. There's several people out there that run around that talk about biomechanics, but they don't really do what they preach. You really need somebody that can do it, and that's why you should choose us. We can do it. We've been doing it for a long time. We've been preaching it for probably longer than anybody in the business about downswing only. I still get guys today that say, I teach downswing, I teach downswing. But when you look at it, you see them teaching backswing. I have not seen anybody that teaches like we teach, where we can take any backswing and make it work because we understand the backswing, okay? Or we understand the downswing. The backswing is one of those things you have to recover no matter where you're at. And if you can get over that as an instructor and as a player, you're going to get better. There's no doubt about it. What happens is instructors see the backswing and they see that the player's hitting it poorly. They're going to hit it poorly no matter what they're doing. And it's easy to just look at the backswing and go, you're doing that. You're doing your downswing because of this on your backswing. That's not true. It's just not true. They're hitting it bad, so it exposes them they can listen to anybody because of the fact that they're hitting it poorly. If you build that player's downswing without really going in and touching their backswing, I can get any player to hit it. And I've proven it to pros over and over and over and over that I can take I can take any backswing really. And I can teach them how to apply energy into the ball and very efficiently as well. So anyway, you should check us out. Call 512-508-1504. Go to eliteGolfPerformance.net and start learning more about what we do.